Good morning, Dallas Stars hockey fans. It's Jeff with the Dallas Stars Hockey Minute. Well, the Stars align again in Game 1. Took me a minute to get this podcast together because there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about. Number one, this is the fourth comeback and the third in the playoffs this season for us. I looked it up. I thought it was an NHL record, but it's actually a Dallas Stars record, um, which is amazing. We had 5 unanswered goals in the third. And I loved watching the pregame because all the pregame did was make me completely angry because once again, ESPN and everybody in this whole NHL world wants to believe that Edmonton is, going to destroy us, da da da. I mean, it was so fun to watch that third period to show that Edmonton just completely imploded. One of the arguments in one of the podcasts I watched the other day was, you know, Dallas is supposed to have all this depth and we haven't seen anything from anybody else. And the other night, on Wednesday night, what we saw was 2 goals from Tyler Seguin. Uh, Matt Duchene finally got on the board. Was it a pretty goal? No, went off the butt of Rope Hintz, and he got the rebound and got a chance to get one in. Uh, it was fun. Miro Heiskanen gets a goal. Miro's looking like the Miro Heiskanen of old now. He's out there, on the power play, especially, right up on the point, shooting the pucks to the net. I mean, the undiscipline of Edmonton showed the world that our power play is amazing. Last year that was the biggest problem we had was our power play struggled and in the Western Conference final, and I do believe that's the reason we lost that final because we couldn't capitalize on the mistakes. Now tonight, Edmonton's going to come out flying. I believe that they're going to be upset. They're going to be pissed. They're a good team. I mean, I have a lot of my friends. Excuse me. I have a lot of my friends that want a sweep and they're talking get out the brooms and all that stuff, and I'm not ready to do that. I'm a very very superstitious guy, and a lot of that has to do with being a fan of this sport for 30 years of my life and watching hockey for a very long time and seeing what happens. I think on the other side in the Eastern Conference Final, Florida just went up 2-0 and destroyed the Canes in utter fashion on and just demolished them in the first 2 games. That one very well could be a sweep because it doesn't even look like the Kings are there. But remember, the first 3 periods of this game, Edmonton was up 3-1. And I don't know if they took a back seat in the third or what happened, but what I do know is when the penalties started happening, Dallas's power play went on fire, and that's exactly what you want this time of year. There are going to be mistakes made, and the team that capitalize on those mistakes are the ones that have an opportunity to go far in these playoffs. There was another penalty in the first part of that third period that Dallas took, and I remember thinking if we kill this, we have a chance. And they were I believe it was 1 for 2 on the power play. We were 3 for 4 on the power play. So we had one earlier in the game we didn't capitalize on, and then there were 3 that we capitalized in the third. That was a huge difference maker down the line. And I keep thinking to myself, I believe this team is going to get revenge. I mean, there's so many things right now. Once again, the thing I talked about in the pregame before, or the preview of the Western Conference Final, was the fact that goaltending was a big deal. That those first 2.5 periods, Edmonton stayed in our zone, and some shots were great, some shots were not. But for all the shots, Otter was really good. He stopped a lot of really great shots, and Skinner showed that he is an okay goaltender. You know that we peppered him with enough shots, and I believe his true colors came through. Otter is the better goaltender in this series. We just have to fight for him a little bit and show our appreciation. There are going to be nights where a team like Edmonton will get in our zone and pepper us with shots, and the great goaltenders will have to survive that. But great goaltenders that have great defenses that show appreciation of how good they are um, makes a goaltender want to fight even harder. I mean, it's right now, it's kind of, in my opinion, it's neck and neck who the best defenseman is on our team. I mean, Thomas Harley, thanks so much for carrying the load for so long till Miro got better. I mean, Miro still got the better skating ability, probably has a lot more talent, but Thomas Harley's grit and determination, in my opinion, is a big reason why we're sitting in the conference final right now when we didn't have our main guy. Now we do. And a guy like Liam Bichel that's 6'7", 240 is that enforcer dude that we need. And Corey Perry, your little antics at the end of the game, showing once again why I'm glad we only kept you for one season and what an idiot you are. You're going to fire up Liam Bichel even more. And the next fight you two get into, he's going to tear you apart. Anyway, sorry, a little trash talk in the end of the podcast. I'm normally a very I can't even say the word right now. Statistics kind of guy. I'm a very, very numbers kind of guy. I feel like I have a very knowledgeable podcast, but sometimes you got to throw out the trash talk as a fan. You got to show your passion as a fan, and I do believe that that's what's going to happen tonight. If Liam, I know he's thinking about that little jab that Corey, you know, showed with him putting his hands over his head and mocking our guy. This series is going to be a battle. I still think we win it in 6. I don't want to not give any credit to the team we're playing because they are a good team. I don't want to mock them. I don't want to disrespect them because the minute that you disrespect a team like that, they come out with their A game and they make things difficult. You have to always have to respect your enemies. That's one thing I've learned in sports all my life. Prepare, respect, play hard, do the things you know you can do to win a series. Remember, you got to win 4. We got 3 more to win. This is Jeff with the Dallas Stars Hockey Minute. Hopefully everyone has a wonderful day. Go Stars. Let's get this done.